YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what's going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we rock out here in this channel, man. Positive vibes only, all right? So we are back for my top 10 fragrances for this upcoming winter season, winter 2024. And where I live, in my geographical location, you know, we get some opportunity for some really cold weather. As a matter of fact, we've dealt with some 30s and 20s, highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s type of vibes already, even throughout the fall. So I gotta assume that during the wintertime, we'll get our opportunity to see some more of that type of weather. So these fragrances are the least fragrances that I get to wear in my collection, but I'm glad that I do. Why? Because I live in Florida. I live in North Florida, and like I said, up in North Florida, you know, you get some, some opportunity to get some really cold weather comparisons to Wisconsin and New York and New Jersey and all y'all up there who's dealing with that brick. We're not really dealing with the brick down here, but it does get cold to our standards. But this video is about the top 10 fragrances for winter 2024. I have an honorable mention. I never do honorable mentions, but this has to be discussed. It has to be talked about. It has to be. So that's why we're going to start off with the honorable mention. And what is that? From the house of Amouage. We're talking Amouage's Interlude Black Iris. This is my honorable mention, top 11, so to speak, of 2024 for the winter season. I had to have it here. There's some other fragrances that I've, got on this list that, man, I'm really excited about, but I'll never stop being excited about this. And the earthy tones, the iris, the spices, the smokiness, the woods, the leather, the oud, everything in this fragrance is amazing to me. And at this point, I've had this fragrance for about 2 years now. And it's just one of those ones that I only get to wear twice a year. Like, I only get to wear this twice a year. I could wear it more, but I only wear this twice a year up until now. I'm gonna try to wear it a little bit more in the winter time. It's just one of those for me when it's really cold out, going to the office, just a chill day, floating around day, doing whatever. I just love the way that this smells. So honorable mention in here, it had to have airtime when we're talking about winter fragrances, and that's why it's here. From the house of Amouage, we're talking Interlude Black Iris, aka the Blue Beast. The Blue Beast. This fragrance is not for everybody, so if you don't blind buy it, get a sample. Don't be disappointed. Blind buy this fragrance. Do not be disappointed, but blind buy if you dare. All right, let's go ahead and get the list started, man. Here are the 10 for 2024 for the winter season. Up first, my favorite tobacco fragrance in my collection, although it's been challenged by some other ones over the past month or so, but this is still number one pound for pound. From the house of Argos, we're talking Trial for Bacchus, the EDP. Trial for Bacchus, the EDP, and I think with this one, it's that juicy peach and rum that's dancing with the tobacco in here. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 easy money. Argos makes, Christian makes a lot of amazing fragrances, creations, presentation, the whole nine about Argos. But this was the one that resonated with me from the beginning, and this one has had the most impact on me since I've been introduced to the house. And for the winter time, and I love tobacco, that white peach, that rum, blended in with the tobacco, it's chef's kiss, portobello. That's what we're getting with this. So for the cold weather, absolutely, this stuff is a beauty. In the air, in the cold, this stuff is great. Check out Argos if you have not. If you're interested, check them out. Head over to the site. I have the link in the description. Use code DEDRICK10 to save 10% on anything of the house. Trial for Bacchus is that one. It's goated. It's 10 out of 10 for a reason. Find out for yourself. It had to be here, right? Trial for Bacchus, the EDP from the house of Argos. I have not smelled the Extrait. I will at some point in time. I will get my nose on Extrait, but I have not yet. All right. Up next, from the house of Parfums de Marly. Dang, this bottle is just super fingerprints everywhere. But this has been, you know, I have called this my favorite pound for pound fragrance from the house. It has some little competition with that Pegasus Exclusif, but of course we're talking Layton Exclusif from the house of Parfums de Marly. Take your Layton DNA, which is a beautiful, great DNA that works for any situation, but with this one you're going to add you a little bit of oud, you're going to add you a little bit of coffee. It's a little bit more denser, it's a little bit more heavier than the original Layton. There's nothing wrong with the original Layton, but if you want a more darker presentation of that DNA, something that's a little bit more bolder, maybe in your face, has a little bit more spice and that oud and that coffee blended in with that already, you know, sweet and fruity base of the DNA with that vanilla and that apple. Here you go, man. It does not miss. I love this stuff. I caught this for a steal last year on VimbaFragrances.com, and it just stands at the top of the line, and it has to be here. It has to be here. Just like in the Louis Man Black Iris, you're probably going to see this on my top 10 winner list for a really, really, really long time, however long I'm doing YouTube videos. But this stuff is fantastic from the house of Parfums de Marly. We're talking Layton Exclusif. Had to be on my top 10 for winter 2024 list for sure. For sure. It's really, really good. Up next, a new entry. There's a lot of new entries to the list this year for winter 2024, but I can't get enough of this stuff. I cannot get enough of this stuff. This is a very unique leather gourmand fragrance, and I've talked about it since I've gotten this bottle in my hands, and it is great, sexy, mature, fly. From the house of Maison Dedrick, we have Mousse de Cuir. Mousse de Cuir, man. Leather, hazelnut, chocolate, vanilla, spices. It's amazing, man. The leather in here is very present, but it's more of like a sweet leather. Has a little bit of a brand new leather, you know, smell to it, as blended in with this the hazelnut and the chocolate and the spices and the vanilla. Like, this stuff is beautiful. There's a coffee hinge in here too. God, it's so good, man. I love this stuff. Upon the very first time that I smelled it, I was blown away. The very first time that I smelled this, I was really, really, really blown away. This stuff is incredible. And it's just one for sure that in the winter time, no matter really what I got going on, you know, this is one that I'm going to be eager to pull out because I've tested this, and in the air, it is just fantastic. Performance is really, really good. And this is one that I'm very glad to feature as a different change of pace, a leathery gourmand for winter 2024. It's great, man. From the house of Maison Dedrick, we're talking Mousse de Cuir. Mousse de Cuir. This stuff is fantastic, man. All right. Up next, one of the greatest designers ever created. Probably pound for pound the very best of this line, and the love of this fragrance, I co-sign it for sure. From the house of Givenchy. We got Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Man, listen. I ordered this from Givenchy when the first weekend that it dropped. So excited to have it. Again, you get another hazelnut feature here, but you get this whiskey, you get this iris, you get this like bourbon vanilla. Kind of has like it's not like ultra sweet vanilla. Like bourbon vanilla comes off kind of like a dry, maybe like slightly drier vanilla, if that even makes sense. But that's what my nose is getting. But the real star of the show here is the hazelnut and the whiskey in here, and the vanilla and the iris. Like the combination of all of those things in this bottle is amazing. Great blend here. Givenchy does it right. They're one of my favorite designer houses of all time, because everything that I have from them and everything that I've experienced for them has just been absolutely on point. And this is another one for winter 2024 that is going to win a lot of games. This one's going to win a lot of games, and it's great. You can get it in your local retailers right now. I believe it is on discounters for a pretty decent price. If I find it for a great price, it's in the I have it linked to this video, but it's really great stuff, man. From the house of Givenchy. We got Givenchy, gentlemen. Reserve Privé. Great stuff. All right. Up next, another new entry to the winter conversation, the winter countdown. And as time goes on, my love and affection for oud continues to grow. But this is a different oud for me. I've never really experienced this one, a type of oud like this, and it is awesome. From the house of Gleam, London, we're talking Kensington Extrait de Parfum. Kensington Extrait de Parfum. This is a ambery oud. Yes, an ambery oud. This stuff is great. Very, very powerful stuff, man. Yes, an ambery oud. There's a gingered spice in this as well. Patchouli really gets active as it starts to dry down. But the amber and the oud are the real stars of this fragrance. It holds, the amber and the oud whole serve in here. The ginger spice kind of tails away as the fragrance continues to develop. But then, like I said, as we get to the dry down, that amber oud patchouli is what you're getting. And in the winter time, winter date nights or winter nights out, just if it's cold, man, this is going to be something perfect to cut through the cold and complement the evening. When I smell this, all I do is think of nighttime, evening time. Like, I wouldn't dare wear this while the sun was up. This is something like Gotham City's finest. I am Batman type of fragrance, man. Matter of fact, Bruce Wayne probably would wear this. Batman probably would have a couple sprays of this on while he cleaning up Gotham. That's just where my mind takes me with this particular scent. So now a lot of conversation about the House of Gleam. It is a niche house. Like I said, Extrait de Parfum concentration. Powerful, powerful stuff. And one of the better oud experiences that I've had, and one of the best ouds in my collection. Again, I'm growing more and more in love with oud, and an amber oud fragrance, man, I'm a fan. Great for winter time. From the house of Gleam, London. We're talking Kensington. Extrait de Parfum. Extrait de Parfum. Great stuff. And these are only 50 ml bottles. They don't make them in 100. They're that powerful. 2 sprays forever. Forever, ain't going nowhere. Up next, one of the sexier fragrances that you can wear for winter 2024. And I love to wear this in the cold because that's where my first experience came from. I'm not saying you can't wear it nowhere else, but my first experience came from wearing this in the brick cold. From the house of BDK Parfums, we're talking Gris Charnel Extrait. Gris Charnel Extrait. I gotta thank you guys for putting me on to this one. I was on the verge of buying the original, and all of you were saying, D, we recommend you check out the Extrait. Check out the Extrait, D. Check out the Extrait. And I did. I actually ended up just blind buying it after you guys were telling me to tap in. A beautiful creamy fig. There's woods. There's spices. That, like I said, the creamy fruity fig blended with the dry woods and the spices is just excellent. The perfect balance. Just the perfect vibe that you get with this. This stuff is very, very nice. Sexy, confidence booster, at least for me. Maneuvering around, wearing this to the office or on a night out on the town, or just doing the day floating around. I just like how this rocks in the colder weather. And Gris Charnel Extrait is just one of those ones. One of the wildest scent profiles that I have ever come across, and it is really, really good. The original is great too. My wife has a bottle of the original. I ended up buying that for her because she loved it as well from the sample that I had. So she has the original, I have the Extrait, and everything is cool. All right, but this definitely had to be on the list. And I'm so excited to get back in get back to the opportunity to wear this during the winter season 2024. Get it together, Dedrick. From the house of BDK. We're talking Gris Charnel Extrait. Man, this stuff is fantastic, man. Shout out to y'all for putting me on, man. For real, shout out to y'all. All right. Up next, man, I've been wearing this before it was officially winter. Wearing this through the fall, actually. But it needed to be on this list because of what it's all about. The house of Alghabra is fantastic, and this sits at the head of the table, if you ask me. From the house of Alghabra, we have Eye of Seven Hills. Eye of Seven Hills. This stuff is incredible. Often compared to Initial Side Effect, rightfully so. But like I've said before, this is way better. Way better. More bolder. More spices. More woods, more booze, more tobacco, more everything in here. This stuff is incredible, man. Oh my God, it's incredible. And no shade or no slight to side effect. I think it's a really, really good fragrance, man. But this is just something that I prefer over it because of how much bolder it is. Because that's it. When you smell side effect, and this is bolder. But enough of the comparisons. Why this list? This smells like a king to me. This smells like royalty to me. This smells like someone who knows what's going on. This smells like a well-dressed man. This smells like a confident man. This smells like something that the ladies will be head over heels for. My wife is. She loves how this smells. I've worn this a couple of times. Had a sample beforehand, and she loved how it smelled. One of those grab me by my arm or up on my neck and just smelling the fragrance. But I7 Hills is a beauty. Alghabra is a fantastic house. They have a bunch of great fragrances for the colder months in the winter. But this right here is the one that just grabbed my attention immediately. And this winter time, this is gonna get a lot of play from the house of Alghabra. We're talking I7 Hills. Incredible stuff, man. Incredible stuff for sure. All right. Up next, we had to find some way to have some type of floral representation on here, and we got it. This is a very spicy rose, and I am a huge fan of what it does in the cold from the house of Zaharoff. We're talking Signature Black Rose. Signature Black Rose, one of the more talked about fragrances from Zaharoff. Beautiful bottle style, but most importantly, spices and rose. This stuff is amazing. Spices and ouds, that black rose note in here. This stuff is incredible, man. When it first came out, you know, I love Signature Rosé, so the conversations were running wild about this in comparisons to rosé, and it's just normal for people to do that. So I was like, man, you know, I'm really anticipated. I purchased this. I did a live stream unboxing with the Bishop, Jared Miller, and was just really blown away. Really blown away about what it put me through, because this was a fragrance that took a hold of me, and I really had to wear it and understand it. Especially when I smelled it for the first time, because I had never smelled a spicy rose like this before. But after wearing it a bunch of times and being in, you know, different situations from the office or on a night out, I even wore this around the house one day when I was just chilling. It was colder outside. This is one that I realized why I love it so much is because of that representation of that spicy rose with all the other darker, denser layers to this fragrance. It's great, man. It's great. Man, it's so good, man. If you haven't got your nose on this and you're a fan of rose, I highly recommend you get your nose on this one for sure. It's good. Had to be on the list. I think this is its first time on the Winter 2024 list, and I only specifically wear this one during the cooler months. And I wear Signature Rosé all year round, but during the cooler months, this one gets to play from the house of Zaharoff. We're talking Signature Black Rose. This stuff is incredible if it wants to focus. Okay, it is incredible because it is focusing. Great stuff. All right, two more left to talk about. Pound for pound, one of the great vanillas in my collection. The juice has gotten darker. The conversation has picked up on this weirdly. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I, for one, love it. It is incredible from the house of Vertus Vanilla. We have Vanilla Oud. Absolutely. What you didn't think it was going to be on here? Of course it was. Pound for pound, the best vanilla in my entire collection. Golly, man. It's like that burnt sugar, burnt vanilla, caramelized vanilla, oud, spices. It's just wonderful. Very sexy fragrance in my opinion. In the air, this stuff just does something incredible, man. It's like magical what Vertus Vanilla Oud does in the air. I love this stuff. I particularly like to wear it on date nights. My wife loves it. My sister Shoshana, she is blazing through her bottle. Matter of fact, she was in town a couple of weeks ago, left her bottle at home and said, hey, let me get a couple sprays of that Vertus. So even when she's with it or not with it, she gonna find her way to wear Vanilla Oud, and she know I had a bottle and she did her thing. But great performer, beautiful vanilla fragrance. It had to be here. It's great. It's great for the winter time. It's great for the cold in any situation or scenario. But always sample first, see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take the people's word for it who don't like it. See for yourself and just go from there. But this is one of the best vanillas of all time. From the house of Vertus Vanilla. We're talking Vanilla Oud. Vanilla Oud, of course it had to be here. Of course. All right, and last but not least, of course this had to be here too. There is no way we were doing a winter list and the greatest Irish fragrance of all time was not going to be featured on here. Of course it was. From the house of Dior. We're talking Dior Homme Parfum, baby. My lord. My lord. A leathery iris. So intoxicating. Sexy. Erotic. This stuff is mysterious. It is. If you don't, how don't you have a bottle of this? If you're a collector, how don't you have a bottle of this? I know everybody ain't gonna like everything, but I just don't see how you don't like it. I just don't see it. And there's a lot of great Irish fragrances out there, don't get me wrong, but for me and my personal taste, and of course I'm hooting and hollering like this because it's just obviously how I feel about it, but the Iris leather combo and how dense and dark and heavy this is, man, please. Great for any and everything, for the cold, office, date night, hanging out with the guys, cigar lounge, steakhouse, holiday party, you name it. This will get it done, and I love it. And of course it had to be here. Another 10 out of 10 fragrance in my entire collection. And for the cold air, Chef's Kiss from the house of Dior. We got Dior Homme Parfum, of course. Close the curtains on the show. The show's over, baby. Dior Homme Parfum made an appearance. All right. So there you have it. My top 10 fragrances. Top 11 fragrances. Top 11 fragrances of winter 2024. Because that Black Iris had to be in here. I wasn't leaving it out. I wasn't leaving it out, man. So top 11 for 2024. What are you guys wearing, man? What's your list? What's your top 10? 5, 3, number 1. What are some of the winter fragrances in your collection that you will be featuring this winter season? All right. So the official date of winter is fastly approaching, but it's cold across the country, baby. It's cold across the country, so we went ahead and rolled this one out for sure. So more winter fragrance talk. If your favorite winter fragrance didn't make the list, it's cool. Relax. We're gonna talk a lot more winter content as we go on. All right. So yeah, that's all. Until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes. Of course, around here, it's back it up, it's back it down, it's back that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you're going to get back. Positive energy, positive vibes. Your boy fresh out the barbershop, man. My barber left some of that chalk on you, boy, but we cool. We cool. You know, we repping Easy E, out here doing some things. LA, shout out Nip, shout out Easy. You know, we just vibing. We just vibing. Peace, y'all. Splacker.